Baltimore Ravens and Earl Thomas are parting ways after Earl Thomas got into an altercation with Chuck Clark in training camp. What does this mean for the Baltimore Ravens, who are Super Bowl contenders? What does this mean for their defense? What does this mean for their team in fantasy football? Their defense is being taken very high, sometimes as one of the top 3 defenses. So is this going to affect anything? We're going to get into it all, but first, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And if you have any fantasy football questions or comments, put them in the comments section, and I will get to it on the next video. We do have a couple questions we will get into later, but let's get into this. I'm going to pull up an article for you from Bleacher Report. Earl Thomas's contract is terminated by the Baltimore Ravens. Cowboys, 49ers, Texans linked. Move this down a little bit. The Baltimore Ravens have terminated contract safety Earl Thomas as a result of an altercation with the teammate at practice, the team announced Sunday. Baltimore said the decision was made because of personal conduct that has adversely affected the team. After the Ravens announced Thomas's exit, the safety posted a message on his Instagram account thanking the team for his time in Baltimore via Mike Garafolo of NFL Network. ESPN's Adam Schefter previously reported that the team would either cut or trade Thomas after the incident. Schefter noted the Dallas Cowboys are the favorites to land Thomas if he is cut by Baltimore. Later on, Ian Rappaport also reported that the 49ers and the Texans are teams to watch when it comes to Thomas. So, we all heard about the incident with him in practice. It doesn't really come as a surprise to me. Earl Thomas is quite a character in this league. That's putting it very lightly. We saw the hit that he put on Mason Rudolph, knocking him unconscious last year. Rudolph, as bad as he was last year, and as much as I do not want to see him as the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers, he did have a rough go of it last year with the Myles Garrett incident and the Earl Thomas hit that should have gotten penalized a lot harder than what it was. But we'll move on from that. But Earl Thomas, we know the hitter he is. We know the player he is. We know that he makes his presence known on the field. He still is one of the best safeties in the game. And if you look at Baltimore's defense, their defensive line is stacked. It has a lot of depth. Their linebackers, they just drafted Patrick Queen. They franchise tagged Matt Judon. They still have pieces at linebacker. At corner, they have Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters. And Tavon Young coming back. They have a good group of corners. The only place they were thin at was safety. And now, without Earl Thomas, I wonder if this makes the first hole that we have on the Baltimore defense. If you're looking at it from fantasy perspective, especially teams in the AFC North, if you have players like Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham, Juju Smith-Schuster, or any receivers, especially deep threat receivers, you look at John Ross, he could have an impact. Deontay Johnson, players that can possibly stretch the field. I believe it's going to be a little bit easier to do now without Earl Thomas. But for the most part, I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of an impact from that perspective. In fantasy football, probably won't make a huge deal. Defense, I had them as my number 2 defense. I think I would slide the 49ers ahead of them now. Of course, I have the Steelers as my number 1 defense. I would probably... I may move the Buffalo Bills ahead of them now, but I still think Baltimore is a top 5 defense in fantasy football, even after all this has happened with Earl Thomas. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, this is the other part of it. Dallas Cowboys are the favorites to land him, and it would make a lot of sense because they just released Gerald McCoy. We'll see what happens with that situation. Kind of an odd situation with the guarantees and stuff in the contract that didn't seem to be settled or set in stone. But I do believe that he is going to get signed by the Dallas Cowboys. We know Jerry Jones is going to use every penny that he has to try to stack this team. They've been thin at safety for a while. I think that would make them definitely a viable fantasy football defense. And that would really complete the defense that they have. I know they're still thin at corner, but they just need secondary help. Whether that comes at safety or at corner, they really need to add someone before the season starts. And it's pretty slim pickings right now. So, definitely... the Cowboys should be the favorite to land him. 49ers and Texans are also linked. Texans, I don't see that happening. I just don't see Bill O'Brien making that sort of move. A lot of people thought that DeAndre Hopkins that he ended up leaving because he couldn't get along with Bill O'Brien. I don't know if that's the actual case or not, but that was just something that was thrown out there. And, of course, Earl Thomas, we know how hard some people have getting along with him. But that said, I'm going to move right into the questions today. A little bit shorter video for you guys. This comes from Alan Young. The first question we have today, he says on the AFC South preview video, said, yeah, there is nothing to be excited about for the Texans this year. They traded one of our best players that ripped a large chunk of fandom out of me. I'm still here, but dude, that one hurt for a while. However, the Colts are not winning the division. Thank you for commenting, Alan Young, and I feel you, man. That's got to be difficult, losing DeAndre Hopkins. That could go down as one of the worst trades in history. I guess only time will tell. But from the outside, it's pretty obvious that the Texans got ripped off in that deal. And then the Colts not winning the division. I don't think there's really a huge favorite in any area in that division. I just don't think the division's that strong this year. I don't think Tennessee is going to sustain what they were able to do on the ground game at the end of last year. Teams are going to make adjustments on defense. I believe they will slow down to an extent. And then, of course, Houston is the other contender in that division. And the loss of DeAndre Hopkins, I believe, really hurts their offense. So we'll see what happens. But thank you for the comment. Feel free to comment anytime. Always enjoy answering your guys' questions. Fantasy Spartan also commented on my fantasy team outlook, which was my last video. And we were talking about the trade. What should I accept? Or should I offer the Bell McLaurin for Roethlisberger, Shark, and Swift? He says, I would much rather have Le'Veon Bell and Terry McLaurin in that deal. Better wide receiver and a running back with more upside. And that's the one way I thought about looking at it. I'm just not sure, because I can look at where Bell does have a lot of potential and stuff in that newly revamped offensive line. I know they want to put him in a better position to succeed. However, the Jets, of course, are probably going to be terrible, so they're going to be trailing behind. They're going to be throwing a whole lot. I know he's really good out of the backfield, but I don't know who Sam Darnold's going to take a liking to. He says Terry McLaurin, better wide receiver. That's kind of a toss-up. I believe Shark is more touchdown-dependent than Terry McLaurin is. But I believe Shark could have upside just because they're going to be throwing more. But at the same time, the Redskins will be as well. They're going to be two of the worst. The Washington football team, I caught myself. Sorry about that if I offended you. But Le'Veon Bell and Terry McLaurin, this is a really tough one for me because that does put me thin at quarterback if I offer Ben Roethlisberger. That just gives me Baker Mayfield, and I'd pick up Drew Lock. But, we'll see what happens. That is an interesting take. Thank you for chiming in. I wanted you guys' advice. And then we have another comment. This one is on the Why Are ESPN's Ratings So Bad video. And this video is trending upward. We're nearing 300 views for this video. So I am very thrilled at the direction we are trending here. Let's see. CP the Trucker comments says, why do folks act like this is new with ESPN politics? 2003 hired Rush Limbaugh, number 2 hired and fired Keith Olbermann multiple times. Also keeping it frank here, they hired too many women who were allowed to talk too much. Hill and Beadle in particular. So thank you for the comment. And yeah, ESPN can't stay out of politics. And it's becoming more and more evident by the day. They don't seem to care right now. And their ratings are bad. The NBA's ratings are bad. They're down like 40%. It is ridiculous. They're not learning. But get woke, go broke. That's your problem. But they don't seem to be in any hurry to change. But we have a decent amount of comments here. We had someone comment. I can't pull it up right now. He may have deleted it. But we've had some really good conversation on the ESPN video. So if you haven't checked that out already, go ahead and check it out. But be sure to like this video, share this video on social media, and subscribe to this channel. If you want to be a part of this, we are trending upward. Like I said, that video is nearing 300 views. We are going in the right direction. If you want to be a part of this, subscribe to the channel and check out new videos that come out that with the new school year starting and work and just different things going on. I am going to be slowing up the videos a little bit. As you've noticed, I'm not, putting one out every day lately. So, I try to get one out once a week probably, but it's going to be a lot less than what I've put out the past month or so. But I hope you all will check it out when I do have new videos. I always enjoy hearing from you guys and seeing all of you that are viewing all of the videos and liking them as well. Next time, we will start getting into my final fantasy football rankings. I'm going to unveil them to you, and hopefully they will be of help to you if you still have a fantasy draft coming up. We'll do in a few videos, and that should take us up to the beginning of the regular season, which is right around the corner. I'm looking forward to it. And then we'll be getting into starts and sits week 1. But we'll take one thing at a time. We'll get into the rankings next time. I hope you'll check it out then. Thank you so much for watching.